before we get them out here. So it's just me and you again for another maybe 30 seconds, 1 minute, and I'm eating junk food because it's bad for me. Sometimes there's a delay on the invite. So, oh, by the way, if you want to be a part of the show, we have this form that I'll post after the show or during the show. Yeah, so, oh shit, I can't say the brand of what I'm eating, but I'm eating something.
Yeah, you better put that down.
She's eating the bowl of super nachos.
You can't really tell what it is, right?
No, I'm pretty sure I can tell.
Odd triangular nacho cheese flavored tortilla chips of some kind.
Yeah, I wonder what those could possibly be.
No.
Nobody's ever had those before.
Never.
Just can't get enough.
Speaking of, can we bring back those like 3D style nachos that they used to have? Those
Oh yes,
The
thank you.
bugles, or what do you call them?
No. There was 3D nachos. They're awesome.
Yeah.
Nacho cheese chips.
It was like a 3D
Doritos.
It was like this weird puffy triangle thing. It's like you put it in your mouth and you bite into it and the whole thing just collapses.
Yeah.
Like it's this much.
I know what you're talking about.
Really, it's about
It was huge. It was awesome.
And Allie Larder advertised them, and now she's advertising
no
being
idea.
pregnant.
Oh, geez, you do remember those. I forgot about the commercials.
Yep. Or Allie Landry, which either one of them. I mean, I'm sure there's somebody that's like, no, there's a huge difference. Oh gosh, you messed it up. Sorry,
We are alive now, aren't we?
I don't care. That's a
I'm
good
just
thing.
laughing. That's a good thing.
Yeah.
Just in case anybody thought you cared.
Bring the voices out.
Ooh, water. I did get some.
Alright.
Alright. Giggity.
Giggity, 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 goo.
Really?
That's the podcast. Welcome to the Giggity
That's
Cast.
it for sports.
Yeah, uh-oh.
Is Carmeline talking? Because if she is, I'm not hearing her.
Yeah, she muted her.
I muted myself.
Oh, okay.
Wonderful.
Awesome.
It's a glitch.
You're just over there just...
Were you talking the whole time like, come on guys, seriously,
Yeah.
let's get ready?
No, I was just welcoming everybody to the 6th episode of Mobile Web Dev on Air, the web show for mobile enthusiasts and developers. And tonight's episode will be about sports on mobile and sports apps. So my co-host tonight is Amy McGrath
Hello.
and Mike.
I have no voice.
Hey.
Go ahead. And our guest for tonight, who wants to introduce? I'll give the floor to Chris.
Okay. Hey guys. I'm a web developer. Work with JavaScript.
And a return guest.
And the return guest.
And a multiple web dev on air guest. Always exciting.
I hope so.
Okay, and then we can cycle through the next guest, which is, did I say that right? Cirillo or
It's Chiro.
Cheeto?
Chiro.
Yep.
Nice.
Oh, that's so far. Okay.
I like how it's pronounced.
Can you hear me fine?
Yeah,
Yeah.
you're fine.
Yes, we can hear you.
Yeah. Well, basically, I am an application developer, but I'm not a mobile developer. So, although I follow technology and mobile technologies and technology in general, I am not a mobile developer, so I'm not as educated as you guys are in mobile development.
That's okay. We welcome everybody here.
As long as you like mobile.
As long as you like mobile. Yeah.
Of course. Yeah.
Yeah, mobile enthusiast. Hey everyone, my name is Donald Jackson. I'm primarily a freelance writer on the video game industry. Ever since joining Google Plus, I've apparently been drawn into general entertainment as well. I am not a web developer. It's like when they'll start talking about that, it's like they'll be way above my head, which is awesome. But I am definitely a mobile enthusiast, Android being the high point on my list. I do like iOS as well, and I think there's something called Windows Phone 7. I've heard about it. I've never actually seen it before, but I'm aware that it exists, and that's cool too.
A wild Windows Phone 7 has appeared in the wild.
Yeah.
Windows Phone 7 is attacking.
Throw a Pokeball?
And
Windows
one
Phone
of
7 does too.
and one of our return guests also is Victor Goff.
Hi guys, I'm a mentor at RubyLearning.com and occasional blogger there. I don't do anything with mobile. Formerly was working with Nokia Incorporated. They do mobile phones, as you probably know, especially if you're not in the U.S. They're not extinct here, but they don't seem to be as prevalent as they used to be. But don't know much about sports, but I have a feeling I'm going to end up watching this Super Bowl thing tomorrow anyway.
That thing that's on tomorrow.
Don't lie, you're going to watch it for the commercials. That's okay.
Yeah.
There you go.
I know, that's what I'm going to watch, because I honestly do not understand how football works.
I'm going to be honest, me either. I actually had to have a friend of mine explain to me a few weeks ago what, like, first down and, like, first and 10 and first and second and 3 and all that crap meant, because I had no clue.
Amy's got to be over there dying, like, oh, this room full of people has no...
I used to play football in high school, and we used to have to kick the ball into a huge net, but I don't know.
I just like it when one dude comes and tackles the crap out of another dude. It's like, yeah!
You would really love hockey because that happens way more often.
Oh yeah, hockey, I love
Yeah.
it. Red Wings,
Love
man.
hockey.
Detroit, baby. Red Wings, that's how I roll.
What? No, we can't be friends anymore. I'm sorry.
Oh,
Oh, look, I think my thing is going to drop out
Hangout
too.
over.
I may...
that got me right here.
All of a sudden the block button comes into play and we can't hear him anymore.
What happened to the Hangout?
Wait, what?
This only got very violent very quickly.
And the show's over.
Shortest show ever, and wrap.
Thanks for tuning in, everyone.
Yeah, really.
Tomorrow morning, 4 dead in Google Plus massacre.
Yeah.
Are you excited about tomorrow?
Oh,
Yeah,
yeah.
who's excited for tomorrow?
Yeah.
Anybody? I mean, the commercials? The football?
I am, because I'm a Giants fan, so I'm super
Okay.
excited.
I am a fan of people who beat the Patriots in the Super Bowl, so I am also a Giants fan.
Exactly.
Fair enough.
That's amusing.
Wait, who's playing?
I'm a fan of the winning team. So whoever's winning.
Well, you see,
But
I have an interesting Super Bowl story in that the startup that I started working for a few years ago was founded by a member of the former MIT blackjack team. So when I first started there,
Oh, wow.
he said, "Hey, you know that 86 Super Bowl between the Patriots and the Bears?" I'm like, "Yeah." And he goes, "You know, the Patriots scored first. We should have won." And I'm like, "You also allowed like 50 points, and you can't tell me the Patriots did not win enough Super Bowls between now and then." And that was the only one we
to make up for it.
so,
That's funny.
True
So
story.
yeah, that is why now I really need them to lose as much as possible from now on.
There'll be a repeat of a couple years ago.
Yes,
Yeah.
I was a Giants fan that year too.
Oh. Actually, this football season has been scaring me a little bit because the Lions have been doing relatively well, and that just does not happen.
It's okay. They remember they are the Lions at the end of the season, and everything's okay now.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, they came back.
It's like,
There's-
oh my God! It's like I was thinking it was like the Horsemen of the Apocalypse are on the rise. I mean, you've got reality TV,
2012.
Lions doing well and winning games. It's like, oh, we are so screwed.
It was the football apocalypse.
I'm trying to tell you, it's like
It's okay,
maybe
there's balance back in the force.
after all.
The people who are supposed to be losing, like the Bears and Lions, are losing again.
Just supposed to be
I will keep you company in this.
permanently.
For now.
Oh, man.
It's definitely understandable. It's crazy. So, well, I'm trying to think. I'm going to talk one commercial real quick, Android-related commercial. So watch for the fourth quarter. Fourth quarter of the Super Bowl tomorrow. So towards the end, for all those who don't know what quarters are in football, there will be a Samsung Galaxy Note commercial. 90 seconds, so like one of the second or third longest commercials in history. And it's going to just talk about the whole Galaxy Note and just kind of like what it does and how big the screen is, etc., etc., etc. And it seems like they are going ahead with their plans, which is kind of to bash Apple fans. So
Ouch.
kind of like the whole waiting in line thing and all these people waiting in line, and then they come up and say, you know, oh, my Samsung phone's got this size of screen, and all the iPhone guys go, huh, really? That's bigger. And then they go, well, my Android phone also does music or whatever and does all these things. And they're like, well, who makes that Android phone? So the whole commercial hasn't been released yet, but they had a teaser, and that's kind of what it was, back to the style they've been doing recently. So watch for that commercial. It's going to be kind of cool.
I hope it does better than the Motorola commercial last year, where it tried to spoof the Mac commercial and it failed miserably, and reminding why you never make a commercial like that ever.
Yeah, I kind of wonder. A lot of people said when Steve Jobs made that commercial not to make it, and then they made it and it did really well, and it was kind of like, ooh, I guess that was a fluke. Is that a fluke, or did he actually have insider knowledge? What's the deal here? So. Plus the product they advertised last year, the Zoom. I mean, 200,000 people bought it, and that was about it.
Yeah, we were one of them. I'm sorry.
People bought it.
They were cool, and they did pretty sweet, but not. I mean, they're
would've
not really
bought
doing
one.
anything until now with
Right.
ICS. So.
But what OS was Zoom then?
It was
3.
Honeycomb.
Yeah, that's why. Okay,
Yeah, Honeycomb.
let's go.
So they didn't do as well.
So
People are just-
according to TalkAndroid.com, I think that's what you were just saying, right?
Yeah.
The movie was directed by Bobby Farrelly, which apparently created movies such as There's Something About Mary, Dumb and Dumber, Kingpin, and Fever Pitch.
Mhm.
So,
maybe a really
pretty
cool
interesting.
commercial.
Well, hopefully so.
Yeah, really. I guess we'll see what happens. I don't know what's going to happen and how it's all going to work out, but definitely watch for it in the fourth.
It's going to be
Yeah.
Well,
It's
is
a
it
first.
Chevy's doing
Go ahead.
doing something really interesting with their commercial, in that they're releasing an app as well as doing a commercial.
Wow.
It's kind of a different take, because Super Bowl commercials are getting so expensive these days.
Oh, man. They were talking about Super Bowl commercials
cool.
on the radio this morning, and there was somebody that I claimed to be a marketing expert, and he was saying that a lot of companies, unless they are, big names, basically they waste their money, literally, spending them for Super Bowl commercials, because the ratio between what the revenues are going to be and with the money that they've spent for the Super Bowl, it ends up not being worth it for them. They mentioned a couple of names that only do, commercials only during the Super Bowl, and that's it. And they say it's not even worth it for them to spend the money that way. So
Yeah, I also think it's not worth it because you don't remember who the company was. You just
Exactly.
remember how funny it was.
Exactly.
Like, oh, I love that one with the
Yep.
with the Beatle, and he just did this crazy thing, and it's like, what was that for? And everybody's like, I don't know.
Yeah, absolutely.
Maybe guitars? I don't know. So yeah, for sure, you definitely have to have a product to put out there.
Right. So the point was, if you're already established, such as a Coke or an Anheuser-Busch, it's you've got you got a lot of money to spend anyway, right?
Mhm.
Your name is known in the industry. It's more profitable for, believe it or not, for a company such as those big names than a small
Oh,
one
yeah.
to spend the money for the Super Bowl anyway. So that was the
Mhm.
point that they were making. So it's kind
Oh,
of
yeah, I
interesting.
totally agree there.
Oh yeah, because it's like for one thing, you're going to want to have that brand recognition, so that like you were talking about earlier, that the what's actually being advertised isn't getting forgotten, and also one has to consider is like, okay, it's like, yes, millions and millions of eyes are watching the Super Bowl. About 75% of them are intoxicated.
Yeah.
Well, do you think that it's going to be more effective now? Because, like, for example, the Super Bowl just released an app that is an official app for, the Super Bowl. And then Amy mentioned earlier during the pre-show that she can now watch the show on your phone, too.
I think you
They
can watch
also-
it from the app.
You can watch it.
No.
You can watch it from the app or the NFL mobile app, and I believe they've also hooked in a deal to do live streaming for it, which is the first time an event of this scale has been put out there for free. So it's an impressive leap into new media from what is generally considered a traditional media company. So it's kind of
Oh,
a big
yeah.
deal in that's way more eyes as far as advertising goes than simply putting it on TV.
Here's kind of a crazy question, because it probably is common knowledge to many, but who's carrying the Super
NBC.
Bowl this year? What network?
NBC.
Which one?
I didn't even.
NBC, okay.
NBC.
I just heard BC, and I was like, that could be A or N.
Or BBC.
One of them.
So
It's just
NBC got
BC. There's a new channel.
NBC has been doing a lot of forward thinking lately, actually. So I'm not quite too surprised. The Comcast app, which is under the NBC umbrella, is actually quite nice lately. Makes it so you can change if you've got the right receiver. I do not. If you've got the right receiver, you can actually use the Comcast app to change channels and record shows and get on your DVR.
NBC has also made a lot of moves as far as sports media goes to really kind of make themselves the pro sports brand, because they also recently bought Versus and then rebranded into to NBC Sports, and what they do is they air a lot of games, especially hockey games, live, and then re-air them a week later on broadcast TV so that they can kind of maximize scheduling and that sort of thing.
Oh, yeah.
And also, isn't NBC Universal one of the main partners in Hulu?
I think so. You can get all of NBC's content on Hulu, so yeah, for sure. They've got a big stake in it somewhere.
Them, Fox, and I want to say Disney. Yeah,
Something like that.
Disney off the top of my head. And by top of my head, I mean I just looked it up. So
Top of the internet. Top of the morning.
Wikipedia.
So, I mean, I don't think you're watching this show if you don't know football, but we've gone a little bit ways into it. We haven't even said who's playing. So it is, of course, the Giants and the Patriots. I mean, we've kind of briefly mentioned, I'm a Giants fan. I'm a this team fan. Not Peyton Manning, Eli. So, I mean, I don't think anybody here supports
I love Eli
anybody.
Manning, so.
He looks like such a little kid.
He does.
does.
He's like a really sad-looking puppy. That's why I like him.
Wait, can you link his name? And I'm gonna Google it.
Oh, wow.
No,
We had a
I'm
chat,
kidding.
This is not the Chicago
There you go.
Sportscast.
Beat me to it.
Yeah, I don't know a whole bunch of sports players, but I know his name.
Well, my field is really basketball, not football.
Yeah. She says her field.
I mean,
and
like
we're
the
talking about
field of
football.
like what I like when it comes to
Do
sports.
you watch college or professional basketball?
Professional basketball.
Yes, I don't hardly watch anything but the big games, and a lot of it's for the commercials or just so I can know who one, so I can know who to talk to the next day, because I know what their preference is of sports or teams. A lot of it's like, oh yes, Team X won. Let's talk about that at the water cooler.
Interestingly enough, that is the only reason my girlfriend wants to watch the Super Bowl, is so that when she goes to work the next day, that she'll be able to participate in the inevitable conversations regarding it.
Because there's no way to get that information between Sunday night and Monday morning.
Especially if you have
That's
Google
what
Plus.
I said, but
The only two things on Google
You
Plus
can watch
tomorrow
the
morning
highlights.
will be who won the Super Bowl and what commercials were very funny.
That's what the internet, TV, newspaper, and every other person between you and your workplace is for.
Yeah, really.
that's like the highlights you can catch on the radio. Oh, such and such happened, this happened, this person won, and this person messed up. All right, bet, ready.
Yeah, really.
Start chatting people up on the subway.
Pretty much.
So,
I really bought my MMA.
so the broadcast, the broadcast is going to be on available on mobile phones only if you have Verizon. Is that the way it's going to work?
No, there's an official app too.
It
Okay.
can be on any app. It can be on any
as long as you use
carrier.
this app, it can be any network. But Verizon has their own stream as well. So
Ah,
if you have,
okay,
because
gotcha.
Verizon is partnered with the NFL, where you know,
Right.
quite a few phone carriers are partnered with such and such company. I believe.
Verizon's the official carrier, though.
Yes, thank you. There we go.
Hmm.
And like Sprint is the official NASCAR. They have a
Okay.
football app, but it's not as official as the Verizon one.
So which one is the other one that is platform independent? Is that the NFL mobile app?
Yeah, I think if you type in like NFL
No,
Super Bowl,
It's
you can probably
it's
find
just
it.
called the Super Bowl app.
Oh, okay.
Or it's just called Super Bowl app?
Yeah, because
Yeah.
And it offers the lives.
Because
Go ahead.
the NFL mobile app is specific to Verizon only, and the thing with the way licensing works is that if it has the word Super Bowl in it, they get paid a great deal of money to use it. So
Okay.
that's an easy way to filter it out if you actually look for the word Super Bowl.
Okay. And that one should be available regardless of what platform you are on, right?
Yeah, it should be.
Yeah.
I've got it on a couple of
Yeah,
different
across.
devices. It's pretty cool though too because like it has like a 3D, like it helps people that are going to the Super Bowl too, because it has like this 3D big thing, and you can zoom in on the Super Bowl, the actual like what place where it's being played in Indianapolis, and then you can look around and see what restaurants are around there. You can see where seating is. You can see like where you're supposed to go. It's kind of a cool app.
It's
If you're
especially helpful
going.
at a Super Bowl party when you can't actually have no good view of the screen.
Mhm. Yeah, if you're in the back of a Super Bowl party and you want to watch the app,
That's
or
when
to
I
get
stopped
highlights
going
or
to them.
something,
That does sound
it would
pretty
definitely
cool.
be nice. It's pretty sweet. So if you're way into sports, or if you're just interested in catching highlights, definitely go download it.
Yeah, it's free, isn't it?
Yeah, it's free. I'd say we'd put it in the show notes, but by then it'd be too late.
Why would it be too late?
And then you'll look at it and be like, this team won. Wonderful. I've only got 362 days till I get to use this again. Yes.
Yeah, all right.
It will be sunsetted by then, don't worry.
I'm sure by then, who knows what technology will be out. By then, they'll have Pico projectors on all phones, and you'll just be able to project the game onto your wall anyway.
They'll have some like holodeck or something like that straight out of Star Trek. It just
Yeah,
They'll have those contacts. Those DARPA contacts will be in effect, and you'll be able to pop a contact in your eye and watch it without anybody knowing.
And
Oh,
how
man.
would how would people
Just
know what
wait
you're
till
cursing at?
NWC.
You'll just be the crazy
Yeah,
person
really.
screaming at the screen that no one else can see.
Just
Maybe looking in your ear for a Bluetooth
Hey,
player.
that's how it used to be for Bluetooth headsets. It's like a crazy person
that's what I'm
floating
saying.
around talking to themselves.
What do you mean
Yep,
used to
looking-
be?
It's
still
still
happening.
It'll happen.
Okay, good point.
Yeah, it still kind of is.
I use my Bluetooth specifically for music because it came with headphones that can be plugged in to a music app. So I can use Bluetooth without wires. It's nice, or music without wires. It's pretty nice.
Oh yeah, I agree. It's like I bought the stereo Bluetooth headsets about a year ago, and quite frankly, I'm not sure how I was listening to music before without them.
Mhm.
Like half the time, it's like my phone. I'm not even really altogether certain where it is because I'm just going around the house or doing whatever, listening to music.
Yeah,
It's like, oh damn it, where's my phone?
Most of the time they go 40 feet, so
Yeah, so map out a perimeter just to walk as far as you can.
Yeah.
pretty much, but
The only way to tell where your phone is to walk 40 feet away from wherever you think it is,
Mhm.
and then walk slowly towards it until it reconnects.
So you're doing the walk dance connecting.
Yep. You're like, okay, I think it's getting warmer. It'd be funny if your Bluetooth headset was like warmer, warmer,
That
warmer.
would be awesome.
Dude, that would be a great app right there. That would be awesome.
That would be perfect.
Someone should totally make that. Or have it.
You gotta be able to tell that somehow, right?
Marco, and it goes Polo.
Anybody listening, that's a free idea. I'm not claiming that one. You can go ahead and take that from me.
Calculate how long it takes for the sound to get from the headphones to the device, and you're done.
I hope it uses the Samsung voice, the one I've been using in my headset, because the best voice she makes is when she says the call's over. She goes, "Call terminated," and just like look so serious.
That's a little severe.
No. See, as far as I'm concerned, any automated voice ever has got to sound like Gladys from Portal.
Yeah, that'd be.
I'll have to sound like that.
This one kind of does in a way, but I mean, it's like it's quite a bit different. The woman has a deeper voice, so.
Okay.
Call
I'm sure it doesn't have
terminated.
much to kill you.
Mhm. I worry sometimes because that terminated voice is so definite. It's like, I have to look around like, okay,
Good Lord.
I'm still safe.
Could you say it with a smile?
Yeah, really. Your call is terminated. Have a good day.
Can you give me the bad news in a really good way?
Yeah, really. So I don't know if we want to bring this back to football too much, do we?
Nah.
Do we have anything else to talk
I was
about?
gonna say, I'm trying to think of like other apps. Amy, what if you're able to speak too much? If you
Well, there's like
Don't look at it.
there is the number one app on iOS and a routinely featured app for Android called that my coworkers work on. It also covers sports that is not football. So if you wanted something that gave yourself push alerts and wanted to know where this commercial came from, that's where you would go.
Awesome. So that's pretty cool technology.
Wait, what is that app called?
It is called Sportacular.
Sportacular.
Spectacular.
That's a pretty cool.
It, you can make picks, and which is always a fun thing. Oh, what you should talk about is fantasy football.
Okay, that's a
Fantasy
good.
football is over right now.
Anyone here
for
play
everyone.
fantasy football at all? Because I mean, I know people that don't
I used
Yeah.
to.
that play fantasy. Just because they
My
like
ex
it.
tried to
Killing
teach me that, and I'm like, what is that?
Okay,
I
first,
get the
look
concept of
into
it.
football, then try to play it. It is very difficult to play when you don't care.
Yeah, there's a lot of trades you've got to make, and if your guy gets hurt in real life, he gets hurt in fantasy,
In the
right?
fantasy.
Yeah,
Wait,
you basically
oh.
get points for how well they perform.
Well, that's not
Which
even
is pretty
fair.
cool. Well, they tried to make video games like this a couple of years ago, and it just kind of didn't work as well. The NBA game was supposed to do
it was
came
just
out in, like,
because
2010.
Mhm.
The
They just couldn't update it fast enough.
the game is really, how do you say, is very social in nature. So if you go into web apps, there is the fantasy football app that I work on, but there's also, I think Madden made a commissioner game for soccer. There are games like that which are also really popular.
Okay, so it really is mostly just kind of like Dungeons and Dragons for jocks.
That
Oh,
is
definitely.
I have heard that more
For
than once.
sure.
Don't tell them that.
So it's like I've heard that, but it's like
Then they'll stop.
That's
fantasy
totally
football
what it is.
was, But from the way
That
you're making it sound, that sounds kind
entirely
of
true.
It's basically a dungeon hack and slash for sports. That is autoplayed for you.
That's
Yeah, it really is
autoplay.
autoplayed. Nobody even has to
Roll the
spin
dice.
any number of dice.
20 with
It doesn't have to be a 1, it doesn't have to be a 20, it doesn't have to be anything. Whatever.
One
You
sided
basically
die.
have no control on how well your player does. All you can do is manipulate the rolls.
So basically it's adding a Vegas element.
Yes and no. So there are Vegas style games which are basically pick'em games which are considered the ultra casual kind of ecosystem for games where you pick teams or you pick players depending on which ones will, and then regardless of how well they do, then it's basically win or lose. You get points for that. So.
Well, how do you determine the losses or anything? I don't get it. I don't understand.
For a pick'em game, you're given a sheet. You're basically given a sheet of games, and you pick the teams on who wins and who loses, and whoever has the most wins, gets a certain amount of points for that week. Most games are basically played week by week throughout the season.
Okay, now I don't understand.
You don't understand?
I'm trying to think of a really...
I've been trying to wrap my head around the concept of fantasy football for the last 6 years, and I understand it about as well as I did when I started. It's probably just a me thing.
Yeah, it's basically counting wins week per week. That is the simplest form of fantasy football.
Maybe if you put it in a spreadsheet, it might help.
You could
figure it out.
If you're not familiar with it.
If you guys want, next season I will run a training camp kind of hangout where I teach you guys how to play fantasy football.
Yeah,
that would be
awesome.
helpful.
That'd be fun.
And we could
I
have
was
a
totally
hangout
kidding.
and
You
yell
guys
at
really
each other
want me
on
to do
Sunday.
that? That sounds like an awful experience
That
for
probably
me.
would be fun.
No,
Yeah,
anything that teaches me
that might
something
get me
is
involved.
I'm always game.
I will teach you guys.
And we'd have an actual fight.
Yeah, an overhanging fight.
After the first half hour, it'll be basically me either screaming or crying.
No!
I will do it. If there's enough interest, I will do it. But if it's just going to be me trying to answer questions while I'm trying to watch something, I'll end up so frustrated and sad.
That's true.
Is there a mobile web app for fantasy football?
There was last year.
There has to be.
And yeah, it's just and there will be again this year for both platforms.
For both
Both platforms. Not all three. Both.
No, all three. Just two. just.
There's only two that matter.
Yeah.
Here's the
iOS
thing.
and Android.
Where's this
If you-
third, mobile...
Technically, there's supposed to be 4.
Okay, if someone can raise a Symbian or a Windows mobile phone right now, then I will alter that in that statement.
I'll
That's
be
what I
able to raise
thought.
one in half an hour.
Has anyone ever actually seen a Windows Phone 7 phone in the wild?
In
had
CS, in the
I-
CS
Yeah,
footage,
I
I've
will
seen
see
lots
one
of
in
them.
half an hour.
I've had
Oh.
two.
I will have a Windows 7 phone in my hand in half an hour.
Okay.
Or an hour
Sorry.
or something. For what?
For what? Yeah, that's what I'm asking.
He's seen 2. You're getting one. So that
Are you
makes,
growing one?
How are you managing to get one in half an hour?
Did the
Is that your
Pokeball
new
lock
phone?
and you can't open it anymore? Is that what happened? Resting?
No, I actually have a meeting later with one of my business partners. So
Okay.
he actually has a Windows phone.
Okay.
Oh, what does he
We
think
have
about
to demo it then.
Yes. I'll wait.
If he
I'll tell
gets
you
here
what I
while
think.
we're still at a hangout, we
Yes.
can do
I'll tell you what I think about it.
Oh, go for it. Yeah, please. That's what I thought.
I had two
I
phones.
mean, he's really excited about it. Like, he really likes it. He got
Everything-
I
the
hear for the
Lumia.
usage, it's actually
so
really
the
good
Lumia
to
is
use,
actually
but there's
pretty good.
nothing there for it.
The
Yeah.
Lumia is
Yeah.
supposed to be like the new, okay, let's start over Windows.
Yeah, so
But
I'm
the
pretty
two I
excited to get
used were
it.
pretty, ugh. They were
Yeah.
too samey.
I don't understand
There was
it's like what it offers.
nothing
that
different about
Android
them, even
or
though they were
iOS
completely
doesn't
different.
offer. It's like, I get iOS. Is like, I don't like the whole Apple ecosystem. But for those that are already in that ecosystem, iPhone makes sense. Android, you can pretty much do whatever you want with, and definitely if you're in a Google ecosystem, that makes sense. I'm having a hard time placing Windows Phone 7. I guess if you're a Hotmail or MSN user or...
It's sad because it's for
well, eventually-
hardcore Xbox users and hardcore Zune users. And there just aren't many of those anymore.
Nope.
Well, you can actually,
Oh.
if you buy a Windows Phone 7 now, which I hope your friend doesn't miss out on this, you can get a free year of Zune Pass, which is actually pretty nice.
Dude, I'm telling you,
Oh.
if they just call their phone Xbox phones, they'll be like,
That's
Yeah.
true.
everybody's gonna be all
That's
over that.
instant marketing.
Mm-hmm.
It's like
Well, my
super,
friend
super
actually got-
instant. Just call it a darn Xbox phone and get it over with.
My friend actually got his Lumia for like $10 because he had an upgrade. And
Oh wow.
I don't
Was
know.
it the Lumia 7 or the Lumia 8? Because I bet
don't
it's
know.
7. It's probably a Lumia 7 from T-Mobile, which is not quite as good as the Lumia 8.
What's the Lumia 8 on?
It's not out
What
yet.
network?
It's in Europe. It's coming.
Well,
don't
then
know
he
what network it's coming
definitely doesn't have an 8 because he has the phone in hand already.
It could be AT&T though too. Either way, it's kind of like the old way of doing it. They kind of took an older phone that I think was coming up and put the Lumia tag on it, which Lumia is basically like saying, for other phone developers in the other phone world, it's kind of like, I don't know. It's kind of like a mid-range anything else.
Okay.
But the new Lumias are supposed to be pretty sweet. So, like the 8 is basically the equivalent of the N9, and the N9 is highly regarded as a nice phone. So, however, it's not going to change a whole lot because it's still got Windows on it. So, and you cannot change it.
Blue screen of death.
From what I
Ported
understand,
to your phone.
From what I understand,
It's okay. AT&T has that too.
Yeah. They've basically allowed you to use, what is it? They allowed Nokia or HTC or somebody to go ahead and skin the camera, and that's it.
Really?
Yeah, they don't let them skin anything. They don't let them do any custom. HTC has something called the HTC Hub, where you can go in and click that part, and it basically looks like any HTC Android phone. But you have to exit that to really, you can't do anything in there. You can buy a couple apps that are HTC specific and things like that, but you really can't use them unless you're in the hub.
Phones, kind of, as far as the UI is concerned, are more or less the same.
They're all the same. There's nothing different.
Oh, okay. All right. Well,
so basically like the HTC Hub is an app you can download, and it kind of makes it look different. But I mean, there's a couple users that enjoy it a lot. So
I was looking at the Windows 7 phones, and all the specs are exactly the same. Like they all have the same screen size, and it seems like they're trying to focus on solidarity over their platform.
That seems to be a lot of it. I don't claim to be an expert by any means.
I actually just looked at developing apps for it. So.
Oh, okay. So that's probably pretty nice for developers anyway, because it doesn't create too much difference. It doesn't create problems.
No. So like you could, I suppose, coming at it from that standpoint, you could rest assured that the apps that you would create could work on any Windows phone on the market.
Exactly. Which is really nice.
The problem is, in my opinion, and this could get me some hate mail or whatever, but the problem I think is, or the thing with this Lumia thing is, if the Lumia and Nokia whole deal doesn't take off, this is it for Windows, I feel like.
Think so?
It could be.
I mean, they'll have another year to decide and figure it out.
They've got Windows 8 to come out, though.
Let's say Apple went and started trying to, just go ahead and handle the manufacturing of the phone themselves. I mean, do you think that would be viable if they took a page out of Apple's book?
It could be, but that's just never been the Windows standpoint.
Yeah.
I mean, Windows has never made a Windows device. It's like, this is the Gates machine. This is the one he created. It's always just kind of been, okay, Dell, go ahead. So-and-so, go ahead. And now they've gone to the mobile players. They're like, HTC, Samsung, go ahead. We don't just use our software, but you have to follow these guidelines. That's just the way Windows has always been. Use it, but follow these guidelines.
Actually, I thought someone would probably bring up in this area of conversation, does anyone remember the Microsoft Ken?
Yeah.
What?
The Kin and the Kin 2.
Yeah, the Kin and the Kin 2, they essentially look like Fisher-Price toys.
Yeah, so basically the company Danger, that made the Sidekick, was purchased by Windows and Microsoft, and then they turned around and used the Danger team to make the Kin and the Kin 2, and they basically charged you smartphone price for a little more that was something a little above a feature phone.
Yeah.
And it just didn't do well, and it was marketed towards like 14-year-olds, and 14-year-olds aren't buying $400
like
phones.
It's something that my 2-year-old niece would like to play.
Well, I mean, they are, but...
Yeah, it was marketed towards these people, but they just weren't getting these phones as often that didn't do as much.
Yeah.
I don't think they had
if you're gonna...
capability. They barely had a browser, and like the biggest thing was... Go ahead.
I was going to say, if you're going to drop that money as a 14-year-old, you're going to get a feature, like, you're going to get a smartphone that has it all. Like,
or just an iPod.
You don't want that
rather than
marginal
a phone.
Yeah.
I mean,
Yeah,
the
for
thing is
sure.
ridiculous.
Oh,
I mean, watch
he
this.
pulled up the
kid,
Shiro pulled up the kin
didn't have a
page.
calendar or anything like that. You couldn't sync it with Outlook or Google Calendar or anything like that. It really didn't have an instant messenger. There was nothing like that built in. There was no micro SD or any kind of flash memory slots whatsoever. I mean,
it was based on the cloud so heavily.
It was totally absurd.
It had a weird cloud function. I just wanted to try it. It was called KinSpot, and you drag things into the KinSpot, and then you could share them with your friends if your friends had Spot access or something. Obviously, it never did very well. I mean, it was laughable because they sold 500 phones. That's it.
Are you serious?
500.
That was it? I thought it was at least 1,000.
No, I don't think so. It might have been 500 per. Because there was the Kin and the Kin 2. And they came out at the same time. Exact same time.
Why would they do that?
So instead of calling it the Kin 1 and the Kin 2, or instead of calling it like the Kin blah 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 and the Kin blah blah blah, they called it 1 and 2, even though they came out at the exact same day. So it's kind
the
of
Kin HD Pro 2.
Yeah, they should have done something along those lines, but
yeah,
that was it, and it failed, and it didn't do well at all, and it was done.
Yeah, so it's like, I mean, it's mainly due to that abysmal failure that I don't think that Microsoft would be really too excited about the concept of trying to manufacture another phone by themselves. But I mean, at the same time, with the proper vision in place, it feasibly could work, or at the very least, get things out there. But the problem is that Microsoft isn't as big of a name in the electronic field as, say, Apple is anymore. Apple, I mean, just
not in the gadget market per se.
I mean, dude, you see this clipboard right here? If I were to put an Apple sticker on it, I could sell it for $20.
Yeah.
You could probably sell it as an iPad too.
It has to be really pretty before you can sell that, even if you put a sticker
it'd have to have
on
rounded, metallic, brushed metal corners.
It has to be like super pretty.
Oh yeah, and I'd have to make sure if you drop it on the ground for a distance of more than 3 feet that it freaking explodes.
Yeah. That's true. That's true.
Boom.
Yeah.
Also, if someone says anything remotely like it, you're obligated to punch them in the face.
and
So,
the most important thing, if any clipboards ever come out ever again that are shaped similar, I get to sue them.
Speaking of suing people, I don't think this has been brought up on the podcast lately, but Apple has spent $100,000 suing HTC and almost got nowhere. The one win they had out of 10 patents that were dismissed, they won one of them. The one that they won went along the lines of saying it was something to do with Android operating system 2.3 in the way that HTC developed it.
Okay,
And the quick,
I think you said 100,000 there. If memory is 100 million.
Oh yes, you're right. $100 million. You're right. Thank you.
That's
Sorry
a little
about that.
more.
Yeah,
You're right. I felt like 100 million was too much, so I'm glad you corrected me because I was like, nah, there's no way it was that much. But yeah.
100,000 is too small though.
The one when they
But
did get
that's
the
also kind of standard operating
HTC was able to
procedures for
change like
companies
that.
on that size.
Yeah,
Because the point isn't to win the lawsuit. The point is to make it as hard as possible for someone to produce something. So,
Yeah, you're
you're basically you're paying for the tie-in litigation. You're not worried about the actual release of the product.
They
They've
spent
actually-
$100 million to make HTCs change 2 lines of code. You can't tell me.
Yep, that's all they did. They changed 2 lines. But on the other hand, Germany, where Samsung and Apple have been battling, and Samsung hasn't been doing so well, Motorola just did really well, and now all 3G Apple products are banned in Germany indefinitely.
Oh, this one I didn't hear about. Really? When did that go down?
Like Thursday about.
Yeah, like last week, maybe even a week before that.
So it kind of makes me think that it's about time Apple stopped.
Yeah, it's like, I mean,
Yeah, because
put money into actual innovation and put it into their products and whatnot. They'd be
Now
better
you're just talking like a crazy
than
person.
other guys.
Yeah, really. However,
Putting money into
never
development?
been
Are you
business, man.
insane?
I
And
know,
next thing
right,
you
Amy?
know, you'll want usability testing. That's just crazy.
However,
Usability.
despite them spending $100 million on this, they now have, according to recent numbers, $96 billion in cash and assets to spend on whatever, basically.
You can buy
So,
anybody.
Like liquid
Everybody.
access?
money to use.
Mhm.
So, yeah, so we're talking liquid access.
Yes, thank you.
I would
Liquid
think-
access. Yeah.
So
That's the other thing.
they said they
You-
could pay off the national debt of Turkey.
But the
Yeah.
thing is,
Can
it's
give
like,
everybody
that's the other reason
$10
why they
each.
sue them.
Wait, what was that, Amy?
That's the other reason why Apple kind of needs to sue these companies is that just on a stock portfolio level, if you're that kind of cash heavy and you don't do anything with that money, like sue people, then it really takes a hit as far as your board is concerned.
Yeah.
And then
Yeah,
they start
sure.
firing people even though you're like kind of in the black by a
Well,
lot.
Things like putting the money into
Kind of. In the
You're
black.
still talking like these words you're saying don't even make sense.
I know, I'm
What are you saying,
losing
Dad?
I'm so sorry, I can't help it.
Instigator.
The problem
Diana.
The problem is
Never.
they're majorly losing like everything they put up against because the guys countersue, and the countersuits are actually more powerful than the initial suing.
Yeah, I think
So
the whole
kind
Germany
of-
move was not working.
Yeah.
But for
I
the
think it's
most
funny
part, they get what they want is where they halt the product going to market for like the period of enough months that whatever marketing campaign they had going on in the first place
Yeah.
is now basically stalled.
Yeah, but it's like, I mean, can't that kind of be a double-edged sword by, going
Oh.
ahead and suing this company? It's like, I mean, that's news, and it brings
Yeah.
it out in the limelight. Okay, we're suing this company. It's like, oh, now here's this product here that they're suing for, and now there's all this attention on it.
Right.
Yeah, the Samsung Galaxy Tab
I'm not saying it's a
10.1
good plan. I'm just saying
was
that's
very
that's the line of thinking.
It's a great plan.
Yeah, totally works. What am I thinking?
I think what it is the HTC was like, we're not doing so good at marketing. Should we hire Apple to sue us so we have a better marketing team?
Well, it's victim marketing. That's fantastic. So it's like, oh look, we're being bullied. You should buy our products and make us feel better.
That's pretty funny. That's amusing.
That would be
HTC
hilarious
needs
if
to
that's
go.
what happened. We're going to add these 2 lines of code so that Apple sues us and we get more marketing. Free marketing.
Best, most expensive troll ever.
Troll.
Amazing.
Maybe there's a tax write-off at the end of it that none of us know about.
But HTC's not doing so well right now, so they kind of need it. They've actually announced over the past month or so that they're going to stop putting out so many phones within the year 2012.
Well, yeah,
and
but
focus
that was
on more
that's the
meaningful
best
phones.
that's the best plan they've had though so far. Because if you look at that infographic, which I don't have on me, but it's like it showed every design in the past 10 years, and where Apple had like 3, they had like 30.
Mm-hmm.
And it was a disgusting amount of designs, and the variances between them were so minimal just because you
They
need
were just insane.
variants. Carriers require variances between carrier models so that they can say they have an exclusive phone that you can only get here. And they're usually as little as this one won't have a GPS device, or this one will have a different form of built-in software, or something weirdly stupid like that. So
Yeah, it comes down to sometimes camera.
yeah, exactly. So it's like one has 2 cameras, one has 1 camera. The camera placement may be different. It's just that's kind of the way they did it, and them streamlining, but them being unable to create a single type of phone has also completely diluted the brand. So that's the reason why they're dropping all of their other lines to rebrand everything as one phone with different variants.
Yeah, actually, Samsung has been criticized for its line of the tablets for doing the same thing. Some people have been saying that because they've been creating so many versions of the tablets, the different sizes and stuff, they've diluted their product line so much that they have lost market share because of that.
Yeah,
I mean, that's what I've read anyway.
majorly. I'd say it's probably true. I mean, the size variance I understand, but if you're going to release the Tab 10.1 and the Tab 10.1S per se, and just have it do something like really minimal, it's just not worth it.
Yeah, they went to the extreme. I mean, yeah, you're right. I mean, offering alternatives to the to the public as far as sizes, options. Yeah, it's a good thing. But when you start exceeding 2 or 3 different models, then it becomes so confusing to the consumer that they're gonna pass, on the product because they don't know what to get anymore at that point, So I think that there's probably a limit to what you want to offer. When you go overboard, you wanna start losing market share.
Exactly. Yeah. Like I'm not sure if there are different European versions, but the Tab has the 7, which is the original. The Tab 7 Plus, which is plus. I don't know what it adds. They have the 7.7, and I could be wrong, and I probably am, but I'm pretty sure they have the 7.7 Plus. So it's kind of like, what is going on? There's so many variations.
Yeah, they came out with the 10, and then the 8.5, right? I think is that the last one?
8.9, yeah.
8.9. I'm sorry. Yes.
It's okay.
So yeah,
it's a very odd size, so I don't blame you for not remembering exactly what it was. Not quite 9. It's 8.9.
Right.
8.3.
So anyway, you get the point. Yeah. It's just that they kind of give you just about anything and in between, and it's kind of going overboard though in a way. I guess.
I prefer that I like that they tell me what the size is after it. I mean, what company did this about a year and a half ago? Oh, was it? Either way, they had this. It was kind of funny. It was they had the 2, the 3, the 5, the 7, and the 10.
Wow.
And that's just what they were called. They weren't called anything special or specific. It wasn't like the Gizmotronics 5 or anything. It was just the blah 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 2, the blah 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 3. I was like, oh my gosh, that's such weird scheming, but I kind of appreciated it because at least I knew what size it was. What size it is. It's the name. No, it was some off. It was a smaller company that really hasn't done very well with Android yet.
Huh.
Every time. In fact, I'm pretty. None of the tablets had the market on them. I wish I remembered what it was. Because I really wanted one too until I realized you couldn't put the market on it, and the screen was very, very bad. Did not have a good touch-sensitive screen. Oh, I'm trying to think. Either way, they just weren't very good.
The more you think about it, the more it's going to escape from you, Mike.
And the more I'm not going to be able to talk to anybody.
It'll be like 3 hours later, you'll be sitting, chilling with your feet up, and you'll be like, oh yeah, now I remember.
Now I remember, yes, exactly. So it's kind of, there's so many variations, they definitely need to calm down. I mean, I think the Zoom coming out and then the Zyboard coming out is pretty ridiculous.
Yeah.
Neither one of them are very good.
Mm-hmm.
Now they're better that they got the new version, but.
Well, yeah, but it's so hard to keep up. It's like, particularly, one of these things come out, and then it's like the next one's out like a week later.
Time has passed them by.
Mm-hmm. Like, I actually like the fact that HTC talking about they're going to start kind of coming out with less phones.
Slowing down.
Yeah, just slowing it down a little bit, because it was like, HTC is a major one that does this. It's like they'll come out with a phone, and before you even go out to buy it, you're already seeing ads and whatnot for the next one.
Yeah.
It's just like Amy said, there's not enough variation either.
Yeah, not at all.
It's just like I just bought the new HTC Blah, and it's like, well, two months ago I bought the HTC Blah. Why do they look exactly the same?
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. Mine's brand new.
Yeah, it's like this new. It's awesome. It has like a half a the camera is half a megapixel better. So and it's got more RAM.
And it's more rounded, and it makes the battery harder to access.
Yeah, and if you open up the battery,
is
you
impossible.
Notice that the inside of it is red.
Yeah.
The other one was blue.
I loved the coloring on HTC devices for a while there.
Yeah.
It's like, we can't make them different enough. How should we make them different? Well, how about if AT&T gets yellow? And Verizon can have red, and Sprint can have blue. That doesn't make any sense, because T-Mobile is the general blue company.
Yeah.
It was pretty, oh no, they're magenta now.
Oh yeah, they're magenta.
AT&T's blue, Verizon is red, and Sprint's yellow.
Yeah. See, it's even hard to keep up with freaking colors.
It's like we got a game of Simon going on.
I know, right?
Bam, 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 bam.
Oh, wait a second. What's that
Horrible
caramel?
at this. Oh, speaking of tablets, this is the Kindle Fire.
There's a huge glare on that.
I don't know.
What have you got there?
Okay.
It's a Kindle Fire.
It came.
Yeah. And I like it over my iPad, honestly. Because you can hold it like that, and it's... What's that?
How long have you had it?
A couple days.
A couple days. And then when I put the screen against the iPad, like the colors, the Kindle is more vibrant. What I've been able to do so far is watch a movie through Prime and read a book. It's really interesting. Although I don't like the glare when you like tilt it a certain way, you get that glare. But when it comes to how bright it is and how vivid the colors are, this is so much. I know this is gonna sound weird, but this one comes out better for me than my iPad do.
I've actually heard a couple Fire users that have said that. Only a couple, because they don't.
I might have gotten a good version. And they probably like, oh yeah, like, oh wait, can I actually put this up here?
I just don't think people want to admit that the Fire does better in some areas than their iPad.
Yeah,
because a lot of people bought both.
The only thing that it doesn't come with is like that there's no camera. The sounds are awesome. The books, when you read the text, they're really cool. Like they're really just like the earlier Kindles. And I like how I like the size where you can. It's ergonomically better when you go like this, where you can like claw your hands are in a claw thing, rather than like when you're carrying an iPad, it has to be like this one, and it's more straining than when it's more straining than when you're just going like this. Or maybe it's because my hands can grip it. I don't know.
That's a big part of it, I'm sure.
Are you just running it as is, or did you root it and do something else with it?
No, I haven't rooted it. I don't know if I want to lose my warranty yet, because it's been maybe a few days. And then what else? When I got it, it was already preset as my Kindle. It's already associated with my account.
Right.
So I didn't have to do anything aside from just say that this is my Wi-Fi and put in my Wi-Fi password, and that's it. And then...
How do you like the browser?
The browser is, I don't know, it's kind of maybe it's because of the sites that I went to. It's slow, but let me try again.
And of course, the price is desirable.
Oh yeah, like
what is the price for that?
It's $199. So give me. Oh, okay. Or let's go to YouTube.
It's kind of cool because it's running a dual-core gigahertz TI OMAP 4, so that's kind of a cool processor to be running.
Nice.
Well, actually, right now it's really fast. So I went to YouTube. Let's check out this.
According to this, it's also got 512.
Oh, and then when I play on YouTube, it automatically goes on full screen. Can you hear it? I don't hear anything yet.
Hear it? No, but we can see it.
I just clicked on the first one, so we'll see. Hold on.
It's also it's also supposed to have stereo speakers.
Yeah. Although the speakers are only on the very top. Can you hear it?
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
Does it have a speaker on the top and bottom, or is it just top?
No, just the top. No, that's the bottom. Just on the top. Well, I don't know. I just clicked on the very first one. There's a glare, right? Sorry, I'm horrible at picking. And then.
Do the monkey.
Yeah, so it's really very clear. I like it, except for the glare.
Everyone else is saying this too, right?
What is that?
Just a flashlight on the back of my phone.
A Google Plus rave.
Oh my god, that is, like, we should do that. Oh.
Maybe first ever. Maybe first ever.
Yeah, so I like it so far.
First ever on air.
You guys watching live didn't know we'd be having a rave tonight, did you?
That's what I should have used. Oh, no, it's not gonna do it.
There's no 3G version for it, so maybe the next generation for.
I was about to say, I think.
And it's actually not bad if you think about it. Like, you can hold it and say, "Hello, this is my phone."
I do that
Not
all
that
the time
bad.
at work. It's so funny. I get so many people that are like, "Is that a big phone?" And I'm like, "Well, it's a 10-inch tablet, so no." But then I always joke with them, and I hold it up to my face. I'm like, "Hello, hello," and they all just laugh at me like, "Oh, that guy's crazy."
It's not bad when you think about it. It's like when you're doing FaceTime and you're like, "Oh, okay." It's like the great size if for a FaceTime phone.
Yeah.
Now the Note, the Note is smaller than the Kindle Fire, right? The Note is a little smaller than the Fire.
No, not
Kindle
by
Fire
much.
is 7.
I think the Nook is 6.
No, I'm sorry. I'm talking about the Samsung Note that is
Note.
about
Oh,
to
the
come
Note.
out.
The Note is a 5-inch phone.
Oh, the Note is a 5. Okay, so
Oh,
it's
wow.
quite smaller.
Just a few inches smaller.
Interesting.
Yeah, it's a 5-inch. It actually makes all the difference. I mean, 7 inches to 5 inches is actually so huge in idea. I mean,
Right.
it's just like it's like the jump from 7 to 10 in a way. You know, I mean,
Right.
a couple inches off, and I mean, it still makes a whole ton of difference.
Oh, definitely. Whether you're reading a book or, actually watching media on it,
Plus, you also have to consider the bezel. Because sometimes the bezel is what makes it a 10-inch tablet. Sometimes it's just a 9-inch screen with a 1-inch bezel.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
you have to consider that as well. Whereas the Fire's bezel is actually really quite nice. It's good size.
They should really invent something where where it doesn't create smears or smudges on the screen.
Well, they have screen protectors.
Yeah.
But I don't really like those because
No, I don't
I
really
either
like
get the ones
them
that feel
either.
grainy, or I get the ones that feel like I'm smudging something even though it's not smudging.
Yeah, and the quality for me just goes away whenever I put a protector on it.
Mm-hmm.
But I don't know.
Figure it's only
Eventually
going to
they'll-
last 2 years
Put
anyway.
the stupid
so.
things on. No matter
Eventually-
what, it's going to end up with like a few air bubbles. It's
Eventually, they'll invent spray-on.
Yeah, I saw
I mean,
that
you
spray-on.
have to figure they are not far from inventing a legitimate spray-on screen protector.
There's a spray-on screen for shoes.
pretty good.
Yeah.
For shoes, right? So
And
you
Well,
spray
then,
on.
why would you need to spray it?
No,
but
wait.
it's only for fabric.
It's only for fabric. So when you spray on the shoes or anything that's fabric, like if you drop syrup or chocolate on it, it just completely dribbles off of the shoe. It doesn't get wet. Well, it gets wet, but it doesn't stain or it like totally resists the syrup. So
Yeah, I saw that. I know what you're talking about. That was pretty damn cool. To be perfectly
Yeah,
so-
everyone do yourselves a favor if you've not seen this and type like...
Or we can
shoe
show it.
prep,
Like link it to me, and I will do
We
a
actually,
hangout.
I guess we would be able to show it. Huh?
Oh wait, we can't
I'm
do
not
it.
sure.
No, they have to do it on their own because we can't do that.
We can't do it from here.
No, not on air.
That would be bad.
I can't show stuff. I can't. Yeah, I have to be demoing. Interesting. But how come we can do it with Photoshop?
I think I'll wait for the Kindle Fire 2 to come out before I buy a Fire. Because either then the Fire 1 will be so cheap that it'll be way worth it, or the Kindle Fire 2 will put out so much interesting stuff that I'll get it.
Yeah, we can't screen share.
That's just like, I'm kind of torn back and forth between. It's like Amazon is putting out some pretty decent looking tablets on their side, but then again, so is Barnes and Noble.
Mm-hmm.
I haven't tried the Barnes and Noble ones, but this one too. I like how when you hold it, it's rubber.
Mm-hmm.
It doesn't get cold. Like maybe I have to wait during the summer how it feels like. But now that it's like cold or it's still a little chilly, it's more comfortable. Yeah.
If you keep rubbing it like that, he's gonna come out.
Yeah. The Amazon Genie.
Yeah.
How many books do you want? I don't know, a lot.
Oh, let's say.
I'd like to
Yeah.
see the
Did you see
I'd
that news too? Like, I don't know if it's a fun or if it's about games where you don't only have to do gestures now, but I guess it's just like the Kinect then. But I think it was for the phone too, where you just don't use gestures, but it also does like recognizes
That'd be
body
cool.
gestures too. What? So close the phone, like go like this.
Mhm.
Yeah, I just want to be out in public and see someone doing that.
I don't know.
I would love that.
I'm using it
Are
to
you
create your own.
spazzing or are you on your Bluetooth?
Maybe.
You're like, what the?
Yeah, it's like on the DS. The Nintendo DS can see certain movements and features, and then it's got the microphone, so you have to blow it into it for certain games, like to keep a bubble afloat.
That's
And
exactly
you
what
just
I
people
was
on the
thinking.
bus going. Like, what are you doing? Or they're trying, or even worse, they're trying to learn a new language. So the things like ni ha mao, and you repeat ni ha ma, and it's like no, and so you have to do it like 5 times. And finally, it's like good. And you have to move on. So you just hear someone speaking a weird language in the back of the bus, and you're like, what are they doing back there? And who are they talking to?
Oh, yeah. You're sitting there up front, like, just trying not to look back because you don't want the crazy person to notice you.
Mm-hmm. I can imagine that coming to mobile.
I don't know. Is there a mobile
tablets.
version for Rosetta Stone? Because I've done that.
Yes,
That would be awesome.
there is for iPhone.
Oh, really?
I think it's either in alpha or beta.
Because I tried learning Korean through Rosetta Stone, and it was really difficult. Well, it's not difficult. It was easy, but then, like, when I say the words, I say them horribly wrong. So I mean,
You can
like,
adjust that in the settings.
Oh, really? I didn't know how to do
Yeah,
that.
you can make it so that it will tell you that you suck if you don't do it.
Yeah. So it's like, you have to, I forgot how I did it, like, there is a setup for it, like, you can choose, like, if you're female or you're male, and the only word that I remember, I might even be wrong here, is, like, running, which is talyoyo in Korean. So that was the only word that I remember out of, like, the, maybe half of the whole, sessions that
Level
I
1.
did. Yeah, level 1.
Level
Running
Level
and
1.
cooking.
In
And
November 2011, Rosetta Stone launches Android.
Oh, okay. So you even have an
November
Android
what?
version.
Yeah, in November they launched something called the Total E-Companion, apparently. So, I don't know if it's you have to have the actual product, or you can have it standalone on the Android. I don't get that from the article.
I
But in
think you
November
can just.
2011. Uh-huh.
I believe it's just that you buy a license, no matter
really?
what, and it
Okay.
works on Android phone.
Okay, cool.
I could be wrong, but I'm pretty sure that's the way it works.
Yeah.
Seems like it'd be a more compressed version, just because usually it's like 4 discs, and
Yeah,
they're quite
it's a hefty.
insane. So I can't imagine that you'd put it on a phone and have the full
language-
product.
The language packs are huge, so I don't know how you can fit it in a phone.
They do have a couple free language apps, though, that are pretty unique, one of them being Google Translate.
Right.
I mean,
Really?
you
Is
can
that
have a conversation with someone.
Oh,
yeah, that app is awesome.
It is really cool.
I don't know, it doesn't work well with my native language.
No,
It
it wouldn't, probably.
always just...
They're always
Yeah,
adding
well,
more languages, though, so you never know.
Yeah,
It might
I think
eventually.
it just started with Spanish, and I don't know what it's up to now.
It was
but
actually
there was
Spanish,
only
French,
one
and
language
German,
for a
I
while.
think, that were like the first few. And
Yeah,
now I know and the ones that would read out were even fewer. But now it reads out
Yeah.
Japanese, Korean,
wow.
Just a couple other things like that. I don't think, when it does Chinese, it does it very simple. But
Right.
it's pretty cool. And that's a free app, Google Translate, so
Yep.
if you ever require it in an airplane, it's very handy because you have conversation mode where I can say something in English, they say something back in Korean, Japanese, whatever, and it comes up in English for me. And then when I say it, it comes up in whatever language for them. So you can basically hand your phone back and forth if you're willing to hand your phone back and forth to someone.
And, yeah,
Well,
as
they
long as
have
he
the
doesn't run
commercial,
off with your
right?
phone.
Mm-hmm.
They have the commercial where it's this like young male teen in like Italy, and he's in whatever town that his grandpa grew up in, but he doesn't speak Italian. So they have him speaking into the phone, and then it like says it to the guy, and then the old guy speaks into the phone, but the kid is still holding it. So
Oh, see, I mean, you could do that, but I mean, it's just, you kind of have to show them, at that point too. So, I mean, it works within proximity, but it's kind of like, see what I said?
It's like, you speak here.
Well,
Yeah.
Speak here.
Well, the
I'm
phone
sure
will
you could
translate that for you.
Yeah, I was going to
so.
say, it'd be pretty easy to do. It seems like a tablet interface would be better, but I don't actually think they have a tablet version of that app yet. I mean, it works from the normal app, but there's just not a tablet interface, per se.
right.
But that'd be ideal in an airport, because then you could stand side by side or put it on a table. Just kind of have a
That'd
back
be
and
cool.
forth about where the nearest restaurant or bathroom is in the airport, without sounding too stupid.
I don't know. I feel like you'll still sound like an idiot
Oh,
because
yeah.
you don't speak the language.
Yeah.
So it's
Well,
like,
yeah.
I'm going to speak in my
Most-
language and then use a tool so that you can understand me. I'm
Most
not going to
people,
learn
I
your
think-
language.
Yeah.
Well,
I'm
it's
here,
like,
though.
I can understand. It's like particularly like Buddhist Chinese, where there's like 40 different types of Chinese.
Exactly. It uses a very simplified, normal version. Well, not normal. I don't want to offend any Chinese people, but it uses a
Widely used.
simplified, widely used version. Yes. So it may not pick up all the dialects, and I'm sure it'd work in Hong Kong rather well. But then again, you're gonna look even more stupid if you go to Hong Kong and do it, because you're gonna be like, where's the bathroom? And then have the app translate to you, and the guy looks at you, even though he's fully Chinese, and look at you and go, it's over there, stupid. Because he speaks English way better than you do.
In Hong Kong, that's actually so likely.
That's what I'm saying, yeah. You're going to think you're being all clever with technology, and he's going to be like, I speak English. I've been doing it for a while, and I'm better than you at it. So,
Like, you ass, I grew up in Atlanta.
yeah, really. Well, no, it's just a widely used language in Hong Kong because of the nature of business that goes through there.
So it was.
Either way,
so
yeah.
I found it on YouTube from April 2011. It was AT&T Translate. That's what the one. Were you talking about that commercial where the guy in Italy hands the phone to the old man to locate one of his relatives? So apparently it was an AT&T commercial.
Oh, was it?
Yeah, I found it on. Let's see if I can share it. I think I got it.
No, we can't share.
One.
We
Can
can't
we share that?
Don't.
We can't share
No.
that.
No.
We can't share anything.
No,
Don't.
share. No.
Wow.
Block.
Yeah.
All right, it's gone.
Technically, we're not allowed.
Yeah.
Sorry. All right, sorry, I didn't know that.
Nobody saw that.
That was great. Carmeline's like, no.
Well, anyway, it was. Anyway, the point is that
Done.
it was an AT&T commercial. That's what it was. It was from April of last year.
I think we can mention them. We just can't like show stuff.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's
all
like
right.
There's so many rules.
I don't
Oh yeah, that
think it
whole
should be
copyright thing.
Maintaining on-air
A
hangout.
huge problem, but
Yeah, that's
What's that?
why we're kind of worried, or we are very careful with what we share and what we screen share.
Interesting. Okay.
so it shouldn't be too big of a problem. But yeah, for sure. I mean, it's very cool where we're going and what mobile phones can do now. So I mean, that's just one of the many things. The other things it can do are
Sure.
sports apps.
Oh, yeah.
Well,
Yeah,
there's a lot of sports apps, not
wondering
just
why
like.
in the world we haven't been talking about sports. We were.
Because
really
nobody in
sorry.
the Hangout knows anything about sports.
That's what I'm
It's
saying.
sausage football.
Well, we've been going.
I resent that. I know a lot about sports. I know that they exist. And
Yeah.
I mean,
Some of them
football-
are leagues.
I know that
Some of them
football.
I knew that the Olympics originated in Greece.
Oh, no. I know that football, there's a reason that football is hands down the most American sport there is. I mean, it teaches the art of stealing other people's land by force. How much more American can you get?
Also, it was wasn't it originally Canadian too?
Yeah,
I don't know,
probably.
but Canadians are awesome.
They also gave
It's
us
funny that
hockey,
the
so
Canadian League.
we basically take everything
I
of
love
theirs and make them better.
It's funny the Canadian League is seen as the B League.
Better? I don't know.
When
They're super
NFL
nice
leagues,
up
when
there,
NFL
though.
players don't do as well, they go to Canada.
Okay,
Didn't
speaking
say
of
it's
sports
good.
apps, do you use anything for?
I just opened the
other
Super
than-
Bowl tomorrow.
No, I mean outside of the Super Bowl or outside of.
Yeah, I've used
Well, I
I've used
use
ESPN Sports Center.
Do you have any specific or favorite sports app, like for example a workout sports app
Right.
thingy?
Well, ESPN
Or
Sports
sports
Center.
site.
That's a score that that gives you score for from different leagues. You can select your, your sport, and you can select the team. So, I mean, that's the one I'm familiar with that I've used myself on Android.
What is it
but
called?
I know that there's it's ESPN. ESPN
No, the
Sports
ESPN
Center.
one. Yeah.
Yeah, the Sports Center. Right. And I know there's a couple of other competitors. I forgot the name of one of them, but I think that there's a couple of major competitors for that one.
The other one
and,
is spectacular.
Exactly.
Sportacular.
Exactly.
I already did that commercial, so I'm not going to do it again.
No.
So I think we can screen share Android Market, right?
Maybe.
I would
Yeah.
assume.
This is a Google product, and
Yeah,
Why
I
wouldn't
mean,
we be
like-
able to? Because it's freely open to everybody, right?
I mean,
Yeah.
that's true.
So I'm gonna screen
I don't-
share them. These two. Like, wait,
Yeah.
hold on.
We don't need express written content from the NFL and something.
Which one is which?
Oh,
you can play back.
I actually have the Giants app, so they have an app for the team.
Oh, okay, that's really cool
And
too.
I have the
yeah.
Blackhawks app.
Okay, so this is one. This is the Watch ESPN.
Really?
App.
God.
No, I'm not done yet. And then we have
have to go to
that.
Sportacular now.
And then we have the
There you go.
Sportacular.
Sportacular.
uh-oh, okay. If this is the last
Install
ever
that
Google
one.
Air show, you'll know
And as
why.
you can see, those are free.
Yeah, these are free
Well-
too. And then I'm not sure if this one.
That's a good
I
thing.
tried looking for the Super Bowl one.
Oh, there's the Super Bowl. It's
The
right there.
Chevy game is right
This
there.
one?
It was the top app. Super Bowl.
Oh, it only has like 3.5 stars.
No one
Yeah.
said it was good. They said it was
That's
official.
because
I
What's the
don't
difference?
think it's very
So yeah.
useful
this is
to
the
all.
Sports app.
I think that's the big problem with the Super Bowl guide.
Oh yeah,
app.
it's incompatible with my Android phone. It says.
Yeah.
Which phone?
It is.
No.
It's the I forgot what it's called. Does it show here? No, it doesn't show.
Either way. Yeah, so it's definitely it's not for everyone, I think, is what it is. But go through the screenshots. I'm pointing at my screen like, go through them. I can do it with my finger.
Oh,
No,
which
I
is the
can't.
screenshot? Oh,
Twice,
these screenshots. So,
twice.
okay.
You know what you also can't do? The
Mhm.
X on the screenshot also does not close the window. This is something I teach myself on a weekly basis.
Yeah.
This one? That's crazy. What is it?
It's
Not
like, why
gonna
does it
show
do
you.
that?
That one, the screenshot there.
Why
is
won't it
showing-
close? Because it's a JPEG.
Yeah, really.
So, okay.
And the thing is, you'll get frustrated and then you'll feel sad.
Yep.
So actually,
Had
it's
that
like a
happen.
map.
Definitely had that happen.
That actually
Yeah, it shows a map of the area.
Oh.
Yeah.
Oh, and then what people are talking about? Oh no, those are no, never mind.
And
These
where
are
they're
like
talking.
restaurants. No, these are food.
That'd be really cool if it was what people were talking about.
Oh,
kind of
I don't know if that would be really cool or not, because you could
It's
pop up
fine.
there, and if
Well-
it showed like they're in seat 52, and you really didn't like what they said,
You'll
Well,
be
yeah, I
over
don't-
that.
oh look at that, I have his seat number. I'm gonna go over and
that'd be, a whole
I don't-
other app. That'd be like the CIA.
I doubt it would go that intent.
well,
Extend
from the
on it.
screenshot, it looked like it was. It looked like it had
Yeah.
people walking around and like, I'm here tweeting this.
We're at Chili's, and I think the
Okay.
Packers
It's easy
are
to
gonna
spot
win.
them. They're usually wearing the jersey of the guy they're talking about.
Yeah,
That's a good
for
point.
sure.
If you seriously,
That's
there
pretty
are way
cool.
more old school methods of starting a fight in sports than simply using an app.
like throwing
We have been
soda.
doing it for so
Very
long.
true.
We've got it down to an art form.
Very true.
There you go.
So I think we've been going for an hour, and I'm not sure we have a whole bunch more sports to talk about.
I could go for 3
And-
more hours.
I know.
Yeah,
you
when
could.
it's
By myself.
about sports.
But can you physically talk for 3
I was
hours?
gonna say minus that fever.
Oh, I didn't say it'd be a very linear conversation, but I could.
It's magically gone.
So, do we feel? Is there anything else we need to discuss?
You mean you're not gonna touch on polo or cricket? Just
Yeah, yeah.
If you want, I
Lacrosse,
can.
there's one.
So,
There are
We
a
are-
couple sports I could heavily talk about.
someone wants to talk about cricket? We can talk about cricket.
Yeah, really.
We'll do that.
Oh my
We'll do
God.
fantasy cricket.
I think
There
Screw
you're
is only
fantasy
cricket
football. We're doing
coming.
fantasy
God.
cricket.
Yeah,
Fantasy
there you
cricket
go.
is coming.
There's a fantasy cricket?
It's coming.
I have no sports in my blood whatsoever. Like I tried
Well,
sports. when I
here's the
was
thing.
like,
The two
Not
biggest
happening.
events after the Super Bowl is going to be the college basketball bracket, which is
March
which
Madness.
brings in a ton of revenue, and the
Yep.
Olympics, which also brings a ton of revenue
Oh,
and
yeah.
money. And just there's so much stuff going on for the Olympics that you guys should probably do a separate show specifically for Olympics apps. But that's going to be some cool stuff.
Oh, yeah.
Well, that
When
would
is
go
the
on for
Olympics
weeks.
again?
Hmm?
When is it? When is it?
Summer?
Who's the host this year? I'm just like
London,
London.
Yeah.
Oh, that'll be exciting.
especially for Londoners.
Yes.
Don't they have
No,
summer
winter
and
is
then winter as
in
well
tiers.
for Olympics?
They made it the alternate so that
Oh, really?
there isn't a ton of Olympics in 1 year and no Olympics for 3 years. So it goes summer, then a year, then winter, then a year.
Yeah.
That's right.
And
The opening ceremonies are on July 27th.
Excuse me.
I'm buried in
That's awesome.
football work. I never get a chance to watch the Summer Olympics. It makes me sad.
Oh, that's,
No, I like
Yep.
the Winter Olympics
that's
better.
fun to
But
watch. That's the
Yeah, I
one-
like the Winter Olympics
Well, the
better
X Games
too.
was just on or something.
what?
But, I was going to say the X Games are pretty cool for that.
X Games have really good
I
summer
love
games.
X Games.
Yeah.
The X Games is
Somebody
about
just-
the only sports that I sit and watch anyway.
The Winter X Games, somebody just performed a double backflip and broke most of the bones in their body.
Ow.
It's like
Just
auto racing. That's why you watch it.
And then someone
That's
was
why
like,
you
well,
watch it, so somebody does a double backflip and
Yeah.
cracks everything.
Someone, and that was
Like
on
I
a
said, like
that
auto
was on
racing. You
a
watch for the crashes. You don't
what's that
watch
thing
for
called?
the
snowmobile.
discipline of the sport.
Oh.
And
I watched for the 1280 flip, but I mean.
someone
that's
also just did the world's first front flip recorded on a snowmobile.
On a snowmobile.
Wow.
Yep.
That's impressive.
For me, a front
Mhm.
flip is falling down.
Yep.
Save
I'm sure a lot of people
Head
fell
on.
down before they actually executed it.
Yeah.
Yeah, how many times do you think they fell off their snowmobile and, like, it landed on them?
According
that's-
to YouTube, apparently that happens quite a lot.
That's when you're in your foam pit praying that you can get down to the bottom before it hits you.
Yeah.
Ooh.
Foam
So I
pits are
imagine
so
that's
crazy.
A snowmobile falling on top of you from around about 30 feet in the air.
Yeah, I think that's why that guy broke a lot of his bones, because he got most of the way over and then didn't quite land the second flip, and then it like
Oh, it was a dude on a snowmobile?
yeah, and so
that
it like crushed his
Okay,
bones
that's not
instead of
surprising at all then.
no.
Yeah, I thought you were like talking about a snowboarder.
No,
or
no, no,
something.
no.
And I was like, that's a
Snowmobile.
pretty heavy fall, man.
No. Double backflips are quite easy on a snowboard.
What, you mean they're harder on a snowmobile? Yeah,
Why would anything be harder on a snowmobile? It's practically a car.
Yeah, really.
Oh, there's a Google scoreboard. What is a Google scoreboard?
No,
Google
here,
Scoreboard is a small
Pretty
little web
decent
app
app.
where they
It doesn't work very well. It's not up
Yeah.
to date by any means.
it's little.
But like when I was trying to get scores for a friend when his phone was dying, I was like, okay, it looks like they're this score and this score, and he's like, that doesn't sound right. That's what score they were at a while ago. And so he checked his phone despite it dying and was like, no, that's way off. Like, okay, Google Scoreboard, you're going off my phone. I kind of wonder if that
Well, you could literally Google it.
Yeah, you could Google it faster and get it better.
You can just ask your
I mean-
Google Plus stream. I'm pretty sure that is so much
Ask.
faster. Like, tell me the
As-
scores.
I was gonna say, why ask? Why don't you just look at it? If there's a big enough game going on, your stream is attacking you with scores. You're like, I didn't even ask. I didn't even want it. Take it away.
Yeah, it's like that is why it's like tomorrow is like I'm actually going to be trying to stay off of Google Plus because like I mean I know everyone's going to be talking about the Super Bowl, which is fantastic. I'm happy everyone's happy. I don't care.
Yeah, Monday Night Football is not my night to be on Google Plus. Usually I'm at work, so that's kind of cool. But it's definitely not a night I enjoy being on there.
Yeah, it's like I'd rather play God of War.
Oh, speaking of games, I really love the games that I got the chance to play today. Yay!
Oh, what did you get a chance to play today? Maybe tell us about some of them.
Oh, I did. No, it's not really mobile, but I did get to play the beta for Diablo 3. I defeated the Diablo 3 beta boss.
Yay!
That's pretty cool.
Yay! Oh my god, it was like this big text, like, yes, congratulations, you defeated the beta boss.
I like how excited she is. This is awesome.
I know, I'm so geeky when it comes to games.
No, that's great. It's like, I mean, I've heard good things about Diablo 3. It's like, I mean, if I was still a PC gamer, it's like I'd already have that pre-ordered and paid for.
Yeah.
Like, I love the first 2 Diablos.
So, but you can't, yeah, it's only Act 1 of the game that was available, and it was actually just half of Act 1. And it's so amazing. I really love it. Like, it's like, it brings me back to playing Diablo 2, but in a much better environment. The graphics are really pretty. I like it so far. Although there are certain like buggy parts when you're porting into a dungeon, but I'm pretty sure they'll fix that. And it only happens in like
it's only in beta, right?
Yeah, it's only in beta.
So, that's good. They'll fix a lot of this stuff. I mean, it's cool that they let their fans and their peeps kind of go ahead and really get at it once they feel it's good enough to be got at, I suppose.
Oh yeah, it's like I love betas, you know, just being able to play stuff early and have feedback, and to be able to, it's kind of like, you know, you're a part of the development of a game that you love and are going to play the mess out of.
Yeah.
It's like I've been involved in the Starhawk beta on the PS3, and I've been really into that because I loved the first Warhawk. It's like that's the only game I've played for more than a year straight. It was very little playing anything else.
Yeah, no, while I was actually playing the beta, I was like imagining how can I, like how is it, would it be possible to port these controls over to like a mobile?
Makes you
and
wonder.
I played
for
it
sure.
on my tablet. It'd be awesome if I could play it on my tablet.
I know, right? That'd be pretty cool. It's like, and you got to imagine that tablets are getting fairly powerful these days. It's like, I mean, so it's not like that's a barrier for entry. And particularly for like Diablo, I mean, it kind of is Diablo kind of like, it just would kind of fit the touchscreen interface, wouldn't it?
I think maybe it's possible that their next biggest game after Warcraft, I mean World of Warcraft, would be something that's mobile.
Mobile World of Warcraft? Mobile Warcraft. Yes.
Mobile StarCraft World.
I definitely have a feeling that if people already aren't developing games for mobile, like big companies like Blizzard, they will be.
Oh, you've already got a lot of big companies doing things. I mean, EA's taking the mobile market pretty seriously.
Yeah, Atari too.
I think it was Epic Games that made this game for iOS. Oh, damn it, what is it? Are
there any good multiplayer games in iOS?
I'm sorry, what?
Multiplayer games for iOS.
That's an interesting question. I actually don't have the answer for that.
No, there was one.
Ramble
like
with Friends?
there is one. It's like the carbon copy of Warcraft, but I can't remember the name. Wait, I have it on Facebook. What was it?
I don't even know how you would do that on a phone.
Yeah, I haven't played it on the phone. I know I played it on like the web version over a browser.
Well, some games actually can turn out a lot better using a touchscreen interface than, say, anything else.
Yeah, than a mouse or...
A genre which really does well on a touchscreen interface is something like a real-time strategy game or your tower defense style of game.
I think we started kind of talking about that a couple weeks ago.
Yeah, we're cycling back to it, I guess.
Yeah, it's fine. It's always fun to get new opinions and see what others say about similar games.
Yeah. But then it's like there's some games that just don't work, like, you know, your shooters and whatnot. I'm sorry. You need buttons. Touchscreen just ain't
Hold your finger on the screen to shoot.
First-person shooter, true
let me go ahead and put my fingers in my field of vision as I'm trying to find. Yeah, that sounds like a great idea to me.
I think it will work if you can like hold it and then if you shoot, you flick.
With a first-person shooter, like the level of precision that you need is it really is up there. It's like, I mean, for a hardcore first-person shooter fan, not having that precision, if you play a game and you don't have the same kind of precision that you're used to, you're going to be turned off right away. Right away, done.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, there's a couple of things you can do for that, though, with the gyroscopic precision. You know, you can, if it does have the gyroscopic, you can actually use the device itself to move the aiming device.
Oh.
But
You'd be like,
yeah,
I'm holding my,
That's
my
true.
mobile,
That's a good
and I'd be like, ooh.
the other thing would be voice. No, I said shoot a little more left, a little left, up, up. No, that wouldn't work.
Oh, that would be terrible.
That could be interesting.
Down, down, down. Faster.
No, you're doing it wrong, game.
Yeah.
Game,
no, verbal,
do what I
verbal
want, not what I
command,
say.
do over.
There's a commercial for that in the making.
More likely than
Yeah,
not.
for sure.
Oh, that could get really, really ugly really quickly.
They have the on the DS. They have a bowling game where you kind of use the mouse,
Oh,
like you do when you bowl, and you go like this to try to move, when you're a little kid
That's
bowling.
terrible.
But yeah,
I can
my
only imagine playing that game.
little cousin loves playing that.
Can only imagine that. I think in a few weeks' time or something along those lines, we should have a gaming podcast where we just kind of talk all about handheld gaming things. So PSP, the Vita, the DS, the 3DS, and kind of where we think it's going, and then kind of incorporate iPhone and mobile and Android into that. We'll kind of plan that for a few weeks ahead, though, I think.
Oh, man. That
The
could be a
PSP
3-hour
Vita?
conversation, just me by myself.
Yeah. No,
Yeah,
I'm
okay.
sure, as always, previous guests are invited back, so that'd be a fun one for you to come back in on, for sure.
Yeah, that's my specialty right there. Is like anything in the gaming realm. It's like been following the gaming industry for the past 10 years.
Nice.
Worked with some pretty good people in the industry. Worked at PlayStationLifestyle.net for a while.
Oh, cool.
Just a few other places. I'm on Examiner.com. And hey, yeah, that's right up my alley.
Nice.
That's good, for sure. I think we've hit, what, the hour, is it hour and a half yet, Carm? Is it,
Yeah, it's
Yeah, just
an
a
hour
bit.
and a half.
Okay. I know a few people, a couple people I think have said they are expressing the need to go. And I believe we are almost out of topics. We're at the point where we're kind of rambling into whatever we want to say, which isn't bad, but not always is a good thing either.
Yeah.
And it'll get you in trouble sometimes if you're on air. So I think what we'll do is we'll just kind of hit the ending point, and we'll have more topics and news on Monday, and kind of what next week's show is going to be. And I think we'll call it good. So we'll kind of do what we usually do. And Carm, do you want to take us out since you brought us in?
Bye. Good night.
Ideal.
See ya.
Yeah.
If you just would, there would have been only one better way to do that, is if you left right after. So it just went off air right then.
Out the hangout. It's like, I think she's made
Like
it.
Bye, and.
No, that's not usually how we do it. Alright, so
We should start doing it that way.
we introduce
And
everybody
after rambling
just
for 5 minutes.
Yeah, I'm sorry. So we usually like do a post
Outro.
Post outro. So go ahead and like tell everybody where they can find you, or like any websites that you want to promote or anything like that. So we can start off with Chris, since Chris is... Oh, where's the Windows Phone? Didn't get there yet.
It's not here yet.
Oh, okay.
He's running a little late.
Why is Amy hiding underneath a blanket?
Because, well, like, she's sick, and then I'm also sick.
Oh.
So we've been sick for the last week.
And I'm finally better.
And then he's...
The three of them are in pajamas.
That's true.
I think he passed, like, his sickness from the previous weeks to us. Now we got it.
Through the computer.
Internet.
It's called a virus.
Hangouts are more
They've
powerful.
morphed into a computer virus and jumped back out.
Mhm.
Okay, so we'll do the post outro. We'll start with Chris.
Okay. Yeah, you can find me on Google+. I believe the link will be attached to this Hangout/video. I work with JavaScript, so like Sencha Touch and Titanium and Node.js and Backbone and all that good stuff. So, yeah, hit me up.
And then
Ideal.
Tito.
It's Chiro.
Chiro.
Tito.
Not much to say, other than I appreciate you giving me the chance to participate. It's been a pleasure, being with everybody, and I had fun. That's all. So have a good evening, everyone.
Oh, thank you. And Diano?
All right. It's like, yeah, Deanna Jackson. I'm obviously here on Google+. If for some reason you want to follow me on Twitter, even though I barely ever use it, I mean, I guess you can have that at Evo Anubis there. Yeah, if you want to have a way to contact me, that'll take me several days to see if I ever do. That's it. But yeah, thank you guys very much for having me. This was a lot of fun.
And lastly, we have Victor Goff.
Yeah, I'm Victor Goff, and a mentor at Ruby Learning, and I also have a Google Plus account. You're welcome to follow, and a Google page for that. Hopefully, we'll see you around.
Oh, and before we go, I'm posting a form, by the way, so that if you want to join us, you can fill in the form, tell us when you're available, tell us if you're a mobile enthusiast or you're a developer, and then you can include your, wait, did I link the right form? And you can include, like, if you want to talk about a certain platform or stuff like that. So.
And that's just on the same post as the...
Yeah, it's the public.
And it'll probably be posted with the YouTube?
Yeah, it's going to be posted with the YouTube along with when I post it. When I post the recorded version. I tried to post it Mondays last week. It was just... I was
sick.
I was just really
horrible.
sick. And
she was anticipating the Kindle Fire.
No, when I'm sick, like I can't really think straight. I'm so lethargic when
she has the Kindle fever.
I have a Kindle
fever.
So, yeah, but usually Monday mornings is when I post the recorded version. I might post it Sunday, who knows? But usually either Sunday or Monday.
Probably Monday this week, as Super Bowl will take over everyone.
Oh yeah, you're right. So yeah, forget it. Forget it. You said Sunday. It's gonna be posted Monday.
Plus the fact that people are gonna pass out drunk at 9. You know, so.
At 9?
Some people are
like when the game starts, they're gonna be done.
That's why I was eating when the show started. I was like, I'm getting my
in anticipation of being drunk tomorrow.
Yeah, Super Bowl Sunday, hangover Monday.
Chips are really gonna do that. Good choice.
Yeah.
Good plan.
Pizza.
I think we'll call it good.
All right, good night.
Have
Good
fun.
night.
Just wave, and like everybody waves. And when they end their hangout, everybody waves.
Or this one.
Yeah.
The wave. The Google Wave out.
The Google Wave out. Oh, we'll start that one.
Oh wait,
The
can't do
Google
Google Wave.
We don't know where everybody is though. Like everybody's in a different spot.
Hi there. No. We'll just count. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3, go. Woo!
And end it.
You really need to turn this off now.
You know, I'm really
Stop
ending it now.
broadcasting.
I'm gonna
Stop
laugh.
broadcasting.
I'm gonna
Kill it. Stop broadcasting.